Ah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin and welcome to your latest Chelsea live stream. This time, bringing you Manchester City versus Chelsea match preview upon us. Hey, man, massive game in the wider spectrum of things. Huge match, massive match in the context of the top four race, ladies and gentlemen. If we really want to start being back to being serious again, when prior to the last six matches, obviously the last one we won against Wolves, but the five matches before that we were winless, which really hampered our situation. So if we want to be serious again and go on a bit of a run, we've got to win against Wolves last match. It's very important that we don't lose this. Look, a draw is something that maybe we can accept, maybe we can take, because we'll ensure that Man City are not in front of us. Still, Newcastle could potentially go in front of us. Bournemouth could go in front of us, depending on how their games go. But a loss would be, I think, very detrimental for the long run in this season. I think the loss, it'll be difficult because City, with the abysmal season that they've had already, they still have the potential, the possibility of going ahead of us. If they beat us at their home ground, which, let's be honest, it's not something that's too far-fetched, they could go ahead of us, which would be unbelievable. It would really be unbelievable. Spiros, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Miz, you always make my mood, man, unlike those sporting directors. Appreciate that. Thank you so much for the super chat. And look, there's every opportunity we could still do something here. There is every opportunity that we could still do something. Man City are not in a good shape at the moment. Their midfield is a bit sketchy. Their defense is sketchy. If you're half decent on the day, you could potentially do something against Manchester City. PSG just a few days ago showed even when you're 2-0 down, you could potentially come back and win it if you apply yourself, if you show enough, courage. PSG played a really good game. Overall, it was a bit unlucky for them to be behind, to be honest. But the way they came back was sensational. Do we have that in us right now? I'm not really sure. Abdul Latif, big up to you, my man. Wa alaikum assalam, my brother. Miss Smile, you're getting Garnacho for Nkunku. Oh, my God. We'll talk about all of that. Don't worry. Gremlin Maresca needs to close his mouth. We'll talk about all of that as well. Big up to each and every one of you guys, by the way. Big up Rain. Big up Man Lutata. Big up Bruno, Bicky, Daniel Knight, Devansh. Big up to each and every one of you guys that has joined in. Smash up the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Let's get to 39,000. Let's race towards that 40,000 mark, which is going to be sensational. But yeah, going back to the point that if you really apply yourself, if you really believe in yourself and believe in your plans, you can beat Manchester City. This season, it's proven that if you work hard off the ball, if you're not lazy, if you really push Manchester City, show a little bit more physicality, show a little bit more grit, show a little bit more power, you can overturn them. And quite handsomely, you can overturn them. Can we do that? I guess that's the situation. Yes, we've won against Wolves, but I wasn't convinced by the whole match. 3 points is what is important. We got the 3 points against Wolves. Can we build on that? Can we go to Etihad feeling that we can do something? Because, ladies and gentlemen, if we get the victory against Manchester City at their home ground, it would bring a lot of belief in our team. It really will. Maresca, as much as we want to praise him, as much as we're still in top four, right? but we're hanging by a whisker. We had a lot of gap. We were second at one stage, and we had a lot of points ahead of Manchester City. I think at one point it was 10-point gap. And obviously now that 10-point gap has disappeared. So it'll go a long way. If we can win against Manchester City, it may just kickstart another run. It may just give us that belief back again that, yeah, okay, we can go and claw back and potentially build another buffer in the top four. And Maresca, with all the fine things that he's already done this season, obviously there's been some flaws as well, don't get me wrong, he still hasn't won against a top team. I know we've beaten Spurs. We've beaten Spurs even at our worst time, so that's not a huge factor at the moment. I'm talking about your Man Cities, your Liverpools, your Arsenals. We really find it difficult still to beat them. Enzo Maresca lost against City earlier this season. That was the first game of the season. We lost against Liverpool. Narrowly. That was probably one loss that you probably felt, okay, we didn't play that bad to lose. There were chances to win. We drew against Arsenal. Probably could have won that game. So Maresca hasn't beaten a top team yet, and this is something that we need to get over. We need to get over, and we need to get that victory. Look, I can't move into this game with the form that we've got. I can't move into this game, to be honest, demanding a victory. I mean, if it happens, fantastic. But look, I'll be honest, I'll take a draw. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the live chat, how do you feel about it? Would you take a draw? Let me know. We can make some conversations out of it. In terms of team news, ladies and gentlemen, Romeo Lavia out for 5 to 6 weeks. So there's a problem there. We're apparently not going to utilize, we're not going to, recall back any of our midfielders on loan, whether it's Leslie Ogachuku. Big up Kamal. Big up to Kyan. Big up Fuffs, Kenneth, Mazza. Big up to you guys. Nehemia, big up, my man. What was I talking about? My chain of thought. Team news. So we're not going to recall any of the midfielders. Romeo Lavia is not around for 5 to 6 weeks, at least mid-March, apparently. So this is a long way away. Enzo Fernandez is back in team training, but I don't know how much we're really going to utilize him. So it really leaves us with Moses Caicedo and Keenan Dewsbury-Hall. Keenan Dewsbury-Hall is the other name that's been floating around, and apparently he's now midfield cover. This is one of the reasons apparently we're not. Maresca said in the press conference that we're not really actively looking for a solution in midfield at the moment because we've got Keenan Dewsbury-Hall, we've got Moses Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez coming back. Lavia is 5 to 6 weeks. So we don't want to recall anyone. But then there's also news that potentially we might look for a short-term solution in terms of a loan for a midfielder. So I'm not really sure. We're looking for a loan, but we don't want a midfield solution per se by calling back any of our midfielders. But we might look for a loan. I don't know. It's not really making sense to me. And we're utilizing a player, Keenan Dewsbury-Hall, who, let's be honest, we've not really been using him at all this season. In fact, there was rumors about him leaving in this window. Now maybe he doesn't leave. And Enzo Maresca kind of alluded on that fact that, yeah, he might not leave. Enzo will start, Miz. Really? I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, they did say that he'll be out for 2 weeks. Look, if he starts, great. But what level are we going to get? Are we going to get a level that's going to be start worthy? I don't want Enzo Fernandez to start if there is any element of doubt. Do you know what I mean? Like, if there's zero element of doubt that he's back, he's good, okay, he's fine to go, he's going to perform 90 minutes, no problems. I got no problems with that. But I ain't playing an Enzo Fernandez that is half done or 70% done. I don't want I don't want our player to be then gone by taking a knock or pulling a muscle or whatever the case, and then they're gone for a long term. So I'm scared about that. I'm definitely scared about starting KDH. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a fan of starting KDH, but this is what we're left with. This is what we're left with, ladies and gentlemen, in midfield. So let's see what happens. Of course, I want to see Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, but let's see what happens. In defense, I think Maresca might go with the same defensive line. Big up Kuba. I think in defense, Maresca might go with the same defensive line with Chalobah and Tosin. Chalobah's aggressive. He's got the recovery pace. And he was, straight away came back and he was by miles the better defender. We have not seen that type of defensive performance yet at Chelsea from any of the current defenders that we've had. That level of astute defending. I don't know, it's just one game, but then again, we know Chalobah, right? We know Chalobah, and we know that he's capable of doing that. He's capable of dropping stinkers as well, but we know overall he's a good defender. So I think Chalobah will continue, and one of the probably prime reasons for us to call him back was maybe we promised him that you're going to start often. Tosin, because of his aerial prowess and because he can score. Tosin's lately become a little bit of a scorer for us. Conference League and the Conference League, FA Cup, I think FA Cup, and also in the Premier League. At least he gives us something in the set pieces. So Levi Colwill might see bench. I mean, he has been injured, so it might not be a bad thing. And plus, it might give him a bit of time to reflect because Levi Colwill himself hasn't been good. Might be a bit of a reality check for him that, hey, step up to win your position back. Reece James was fantastic against Wolves. One of the better, brighter lights along with Chalobah. So I'd probably go with Reece James. It's been quite a few days since the last match. We haven't had any other matches. I think Monday night, right? Monday night to Saturday. So he's had a bit of a break, Reece James. I'd played Reece James. Reece James, very important for our cause, especially on that right side. If we allow Cucurella to bomb forward and get into those. Cucurella has also become a goal scorer. Very important. Because Reece James will tuck in as a back three, which will allow Cucurella to bomb forward, either tuck in the midfield or go forward, overlap. It allows that free game of Cucurella. So Reece James, I'd continue with him. Obviously, there's cover with Malo Gusto, which is great. And Cucurella on that left side, of course. Midfield is obviously a bit of an issue, and midfield's an issue for Man City. Man City apparently, ladies and gentlemen, will have all their newbies up and ready to go in the bench at least. Apparently, the word is Marmoush, Kusanov, and the other Brazilian defender. They all might be available on the bench for them. So they might have a little bit of firepower. And, players that want to impress. So, lately, whilst they were going through that bad patch of matches, they still are, to be honest. I mean, in the Premier League, they kind of sort of had a couple of really good matches. And then last game, they drew against Brentford, which was mad. They were winning 2-0. They would have gone ahead of us. But somehow they dropped points. Their bench wasn't that great at that time. Now their bench might look a little bit better. But midfield is still a problem for them. Although having said that, Kovacic in recent times has actually played pretty well, in my opinion. So it'll be interesting to see how their midfield combats with our midfield, how our midfield combats with their midfield. It'll be very interesting to see. Foden is a player that's been playing really well in recent times. KDH is always, capable of doing some level of genius stuff. Bernardo Silva, all of these players, look, they've declined, but they still got quality, man. They still got enough quality. Up front for us, ladies and gentlemen, of course, I'm going to go with Nicholas Jackson. There is no other option. There's rumors about Nkunku. Nkunku is not a striker for us anyway. But there's rumors now linking Nkunku with Manchester United because we're heavily linked with Garnacho. So Man United might go for Nkunku, which might give them a bit of a solution for the inside 10 role under Ruben Amorim. But then again, look, I rate Nkunku. I think the problem here is he doesn't have a role under Enzo Maresca. He doesn't have a role. The role that he has, it's run by Cole Palmer. And I fully expect Cole Palmer to start against Manchester City. Nkunku going to Man United, inside 10. He'll thrive in inside 10. But the problem I see that Ruben Amorim might have with Nkunku is Nkunku doesn't work hard off the ball. So that is something Man United cannot compromise. But look, if it means that we can get Nkunku out of us because he's of no use, and we get someone like Garnacho, who I think we can do a lot better than Garnacho, but it is what it is. It is what it is. He's probably going to come to Chelsea Football Club. I'm not even joking. I think this is going to happen. There's been enough evidence laid on the table that it's going to happen. Man United need pure profit. This, that, the other. So Nkunku is not going to start for us. There's no doubt about that. There's rumors about João Felix probably wanting to leave as well, and I don't blame him. He's another one that a lot of people say, no, João Felix will not go. We need cover for Cole Palmer. Look, the logical point of view is, yeah, we need cover for Cole Palmer. João Felix, why not? Good quality depth. But João Felix ain't going to be in the shadows of Cole Palmer, man. João Felix didn't come to the Premier League to just wait for Cole Palmer if he's injured and then he'll get game. João Felix came to the Premier League to be an important player. I see a lot of people argue about this. Means what's bad about having strong depth? There's nothing wrong about having strong depth, but you need to understand who these players are. Have strong depth, no problems, but João Felix ain't going to be depth. He's not going to accept that. João Felix has gone too many matches not playing in the Premier League. And the manager has repeatedly said, I'm not going to use João Felix and I'm not going to use Nkunku because I've got Cole Palmer. So this one goes down to the sporting directors. What are you doing bringing João Felix? But I get it. We had to do the transaction because it's a business relationship with Atletico Madrid. We gave them Conor Gallagher, and in return, we need to get someone back from them. I just wish that it wasn't João Felix and someone that can actually help out Enzo Maresca. So there's rumors about João Felix moving on, so I don't expect him to play. So it'll be Cole Palmer and Nicholas Jackson up front. And I hope Nicholas Jackson, look, don't fluff your chances, my man. Please. This is not a game to fluff your chances. You're probably going to get chances, Man City, this current Man City, you get chances. They do get caught out. They want to play high line, and they're just not capable of defending with pace and power anymore like they used to before. That counter press, winning the ball back immediately, they're just not capable of doing that anymore. So Nicholas Jackson will find himself in very, very tasty situations. It's about whether he can put them away. Nicholas Jackson's already gone 6 matches without doing anything. Yes, he's produced assists, a couple of assists, I believe, recently, I think Crystal Palace. But he hasn't been scoring goals, and he's been culpable of us not picking up points against, Fulham, against Palace as well, against Everton. These are games where Nicholas Jackson's directly been culpable of us not picking up the points that we probably needed to. But we have no other options. We've got Mark Guiu. You're not going to use Guiu at Etihad. You're just not going to do that. And it's mad how we're looking to go to the market and find all of these opportunities. You know, Garnacho is an opportunity, young, low wages. Yeah, we're not looking for some depth, some competition for Nicholas Jackson. So that's a bit of a problem. And in the wings, I'd probably go with Noni Madueke on the right side. So I think in recent times, it's actually not. I mean, look, we need more, but Neto has been a bit off color. So I'd go with Noni Madueke, and on the left side, I'd go with Sancho. Gives us a little bit more creative threat. But I need both of these wingers to find ways to shoot. That's been a bit of a problem for us. Our wingers are not finding ways to shoot and go for goals. But I think in this game we will. I think in this game we'll find the space. We'll find those chances. And they need to help out as well. They definitely need to help out. For us to win this game, ladies and gentlemen, look, I think we're going to concede. Because we're not capable of keeping a clean sheet. I think we're going to concede. But I think we'll score goals as well. It's really a matter of, can we outscore them? Which in recent times, Man City has shown that oppositions can outscore. So it's really up to us. Can we take our opportunities and bury them? I have no issues in winning 4-2. I've got no issues if it's a 4-3, 3-2. Just get the 3 points if you can. And if you can't, look, at worst, just get a draw. At worst, just get a draw. But I don't have any faith in us to keep a clean sheet. I don't have any faith because I know they've got enough quality to break through us. Obviously, they've got Haaland up front, monster. Savinho is a problem lately. So yeah, that's more or less how I see this match, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take some of your comments now. Do you see us going for Delap? Is the Nkunku and Nacho swap deal happens in the final weeks of the window? I don't see us going for Delap in this window. Delap's too important at the moment for Nottingham Forest survival. It's just not going to happen. We're going to have to pay over the top, which I don't think our football club will do that right now. I thought if we can even find a short-term solution by getting a loan, older player on loan for 6 months, I think that might be good. Yeah, someone like Chris Wood. I'm not saying go out there and get Chris Wood from Nottingham Forest because it's not going to happen as well. It's also very important for Nottingham Forest. But someone of that ilk, a bit older, a bit mature, on loan, 6 months, come and help us out a little bit, help us achieve top 4. Whenever Nicholas Jackson's struggling, get this player in and see if we can do. But I'm not a scout. I don't know who's available out there. Scouts, recruitment team should be all over this. Trying to find even a short-term solution for us. Mazza, big up to you. Sanchez and Jackson, those two I'm worried most about stopping us getting where we need to be. They don't save or make points for us. FYI, Noni stinks. I was a big fan, but I've been humbled. There you go. Look, Noni, a lot of people are just clocking that. He's a mediocre player. He could be a top-range player, but the consistency kills him. Sanchez, yeah, Sanchez is a worry. Sanchez is a worry. You just don't know what type of Sanchez you're going to get. But you know you're going to get 1 or 2 iffy moments in the game. And then he may even come up with some clutch saves. This is what he does. Ashraf, I predict Nkunku to stay and Felix to leave on loan. Then in the summer, both leave permanently. I think both of them are going to go, you know. I think both of them are going to go. Look, let's see what happens. Both of them are not happy. And I don't want anyone to be unhappy because we've got huge rest of the season to go. And I can't have unhappy players. It is detrimental to the cause. Nehemiah Miss, do you think the Maresca telling the board I don't rate Jurgensen yesterday since he's defending Sanchez? Maybe he is. Maybe he is sending a message to the board. I don't completely understand Maresca, you know. I don't. There are certain times I feel like he's reading off a script. Like, when he's talking about we don't need any more midfielders, I feel like that's not him really saying. That's the directors talking. When he's saying that, Sanchez, like the way he was talking about Sanchez, is number. I think he's just talking what the directors want him to say, right? But yeah, and on the other side, you're right. Like, is he sending a message that, look, I don't trust Jurgensen? Is he sending a message about Nkunku, about Felix? So it is a bit of a strange situation with Maresca. Abra, big up to you, my man. If Chelsea brings Santos back, it will solve both number 8 and number 10 position. He will slot in midfield and cover for Cole. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but we're not going to do that. We're just not going to do that. Don't be surprised if we end up selling Andre Santos in the summer window, because, yeah, this is what we do. This is what we do, man. This is what we do. Asha Miz, you saw Maresca flip-flop on Sanchez. Now he says he's far, far away from what he wants to see from a goalkeeper. Yeah, look, I saw because the initial quotes really annoyed me. And then later on in the evening, those quotes, I was like, what's going on here? It's kind of sort of, backtracked, as you said. I'm more aligned with the second quotes later on in the day. But the quotes that he sort of provided earlier on was mad. Kushur, big up to him. I mean, I feel sad for Nico. He was always supposed to be a backup striker. He has been forced to be leading our lines. I agree. Look, at this stage, he should have been the secondary striker, where there should have been a prominent striker. But look, I'm not taking anything away from Jackson. I think he's developed well. But he needs to develop a lot more for us to be a successful football team. We need our strikers. We can't have our strikers go 5-6 games without scoring. It's too many games. I'm not expecting them to score every game, but more frequently. All right, we're going to slowly wrap things up, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the watch along to happen later today as well, so we'll look forward to that. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash up the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. My prediction, ladies and gentlemen, is 2-2. I feel like it's a 2-2 kind of match. I'll take the draw. I think most of you guys will take the draw as well. Let me know in the comment section if you just joined in, how you feel about the match, and I shall see you guys, inshallah, for the watch along. Until then, everyone, take care. See ya. Goodbye.